Today, we're tackling a massive challenge that pretty much every educator faces, demystifying that overwhelming mountain of jargon surrounding sustainability and higher education. We hear these terms all the time as educators, but what do they actually mean for how we design our courses and connect with our students? Here, we'll hopefully untangle all these ideas and get to a crystal clear framework that you can take and apply literally right away to your own teaching. So seemingly the issue we run into all the time is that sustainability, the SDGs, and ESD get thrown around higher education as if they're perfectly interchangeable synonyms. But conflating them into essentially buzzwords actually creates a bit of a mess in our curriculum design most of the time. They're actually not interchangeable, and understanding exactly how they differ and how they connect is the first step to truly transforming your classroom. So first, we'll unpack those sustainability buzzwords. Second, we'll look at the destination, sustainability. Third, the map, the SDGs. Fourth, the journey, ESD. And finally, fifth, mapping your teaching journey. So let's start right off with part one, unpacking sustainability buzzwords and our core metaphor. So to really get away from using them as buzzwords, we can think of them all around one simple framework to try and keep in your mind. Sustainability, that's a destination. It's a specific state of the world that we're trying to reach. The SDGs are a map, the priority directions that are going to guide us there. And ESD, Education for Sustainable Development, is the journey itself. It's the way we actually prepare for the trip. So, destination, map, journey is a simple but incredibly powerful framework. Moving to part two, the destination, which is sustainability. Now, you've probably seen this famous definition from the 1987 Brundtland Commission report, Our Common Future. It's arguably the most quoted single sentence in the entire field, but notice two vital things. First, think about the word needs. It focuses entirely on needs, not wants, and definitely not our preferences. Second, it's inherently intergenerational. It's aiming for fairness across time, ensuring that people of tomorrow have the exact same ability to thrive as the people of today. Furthermore, this destination we call sustainability is built on three interlocking dimensions: environmental, social, and economic. A decision or an action is only truly sustainable when it works for all three of these dimensions together. Which sounds incredibly simple in theory, but in practice, this is exactly where the difficult, unavoidable trade-offs happen. If we think of an example, expanding a campus might boost the local economy and increase social access, but at the same time, it could completely destroy a vital local ecosystem. As educators, we can't just pretend these conflicts don't exist. We need to actively make these trade-offs visible and solvable for our students. Part three, then, is the map, also known as the SDGs. Let's look at the timeline to see how this all builds. We started with that broad philosophical concept from the Brundtland Commission in 1987, but to actually get to a destination, you need a specific direction, which we arrived at in 2015 when the UN adopted the Sustainable Development Goals as concrete global priorities to structure our efforts through the target year of 2030. So we moved from a conceptual philosophy to a more structured global action plan. Now, this map consists of exactly 17 goals, but what's remarkable and actually pretty rare in global politics is that these 17 goals were adopted by all 193 UN member states. This map covers massive, absolutely critical priorities like ending poverty, ensuring quality education, achieving gender equality, and driving climate action. Right now, it's the most widely adopted sustainability framework in the entire world, and the crucial point is the scale. Beneath those 17 broad goals are 169 specific measurable targets, complete with attached indicators. So for us as educators, the targets are important because they provide a shared concrete language. A colleague teaching structural engineering and a colleague teaching classical literature can literally sit down and talk about their curriculum using SDG terms as a common language and actually find absolute common ground. Which brings us to part four, the journey, or ESD. Education for Sustainable Development isn't just some new module on the environment that you just bolt onto an existing degree. As scholars like Sterling, Walls, and Raymond have so perfectly put it, sustainability is not a topic to teach, it's a kind of learning to invite. We've got to shift from just teaching facts about sustainability to embracing a transformative way of teaching for sustainability, which is something of a paradigm shift. So what does that journey actually look like? Well, ESD asks educators to actively design learning experiences that build a student's capacity. We're drawing directly on transformative learning theory here, which is about empowering students to make complex sustainability decisions and not just filling in answers in an exam hall, but in their own lives, their future professions, and in their communities. That active capacity building is the actual journey of higher education. Finally, part 5, mapping your teaching journey. Let's put all these puzzle pieces back together because each plays a distinctively different role. Sustainability is the state we are working towards. The SDGs are the 17 agreed priorities for the journey, and ESD is the actual development of graduate capacity. Because these are so different, it means a course that simply slaps the SDGs onto its syllabus isn't necessarily doing the transformative capacity building work of ESD. And vice versa. A course deeply engaged in the transformative journey of ESD might not even mention the SDGs. You can approach the goal through both, neither, or fall short of both entirely. Our goal with this MOOC is to help you consciously place your own teaching into this big picture. So to put this into practice right now, just a quick exercise, think about your current teaching load and pick one course you teach. The simplest one, the hardest one, the one you teach the most, doesn't really matter. Just have that course in mind in your head. And if you can, write it down. Looking at that course, ask yourself, are you just handing students a map to browse, or are you actually preparing them for the real road ahead?